My dear students, we were discussing about nationalism and its effect in European countries. We are entering into the last part of the chapter. So we are going to link nationalism with imperialism and its effect especially in Europe and in the world. You know what is nationalism? It is a unification ideology. Imperialism is misusing the unifying ideology of nationalism. In simple meaning, nationalism is misused by imperialism. Imperialism is using your resources and power to control other person. When it comes to the nation, an strong and a powerful nation controlling the other one. We know at present Pakistan is under the influence of China. So, really speaking, China is following an imperialistic policy on Pakistan. So, here you see a policy of extending a country's power and influence through colonization, use of military force or other means. I will make you understand in simple terms. In your class, there are some boys who are able to influence and control others. How he is able to influence? Some may be very good at studies. So he will do the homeworks and he knows the question answers and he will do everything fast and he will give it to others on a condition that you should extend him support or give him all things whatever he asks. You agree. So you become a person under his control. There is another person who is having plenty of money. He uses his money. He may give him money or he may help him by money. That is another technique that he uses to colonize for control. And there may be somebody who is not having money or education or ability to study, but he is very strong, physically strong. He uses his physical strength to control others. But there may be some others who may not be having any of these qualities but may be able to make others accept and understand his ideas by very good speeches or words. Whatever means, one person is controlling the other person. That is called imperialism. So that imperialism has become very powerful in European countries. You know, the French Revolution occurred in the end of 19th century. Sorry, end of 18th century. 1789. End of 18th century. So the revolution took place with an idealistic mindset. That is a liberal democratic idea. A democratic setup of government where all the citizens will get his or her share in the administration, his or her influence in the government. But by the end of the 19th century, that means around 100 years late, it became a narrow creed with limited ends. Narrow creed. Narrow means things are not become wide, it becomes short and short to a particular point. Creed means a belief. So, a narrow creed, it is just for some particular aim. When Arjuna was looking at the prey or the bird, he could see only the eye of the bird. So, he has narrowed down his sight into that. When Arjuna was looking at it, he had no other aim, that is end, to kill that bird, to shoot at it. So his intention is narrowed down with only that aim, that's end. A person who is having an affection towards birds will be seeing that all the tree and how happy the bird is sitting, how happy the environment it is. That is possible for a person who is having wide ends. So, the democratic ideology that has led into the French Revolution has come to a narrow creed with a limited aim. That is what is happening. Now, this limited aim made some persons intolerant. Intolerant, not ready to accept. That is intolerant. You know, you are sitting in the class where two persons are permitted to sit. A new fellow comes and asks for the seat. You become intolerant. You are not ready to accept it. Till that time you enjoyed all the privileges. You were feeling that you are something. Now one person comes and demands his share of that seat which you occupied fully. You become angry, arrogant, and you scold him. And you are ready to fight even for that. That's intolerant. So, that has created a situation of unhappiness in European countries. So, my nationalist, my idea, my country or mine should fight with other country, other person, other group. That is. And the reason that you may fight, the person you may say, you are of another religion, you are of other region, You are not looking so smart. You are not so much good. You manipulate or you explain the reasons to the person which is not at all relevant. And the members who are sitting with you in the class were indifferent in the beginning. Then what you began to say, see, this person is belonging to that caste, I am this caste. So you are trying to get the support of all the caste members of your class. Second, you say this person is not having very good dress, I am having very good. So those who are members who are in very good dress will support, trying to get your support. So you try to manipulate the sentiments of the people, aspirations of the people. So there are differences. You have got your own. You don't want to share your seat. That is only the reason. You want to capture other areas also. You want to become superpower. So that sentiments created problems in a part of Europe that is known as the Balkan area of Europe. So that is a Balkan area of Europe. In 1871, around 100 years after revolutions, the Balkans, now also Balkan area is not so much a peaceful area. Region of geographical and ethnic variations. Ethnic means people living in that area, they have got their special identities, special culture. So many divisions include Romania, Bulgaria, Albania, Greece, Macedonia, Croatia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Slovenia, Serbia, etc. All this. And all the people who are living in this all area, we call them as Slavs. They are called Slavs. That's a race of the people. Like Mongolian race, the Chinese people eyes you looks different, they are called a Mongolian race. In India we have got Aryans and Dravidian race. So the people living in that area, they were called Slav people, Slav race. And Russia was the prominent country in that area where Slav people were living. So naturally, the Russians supported the Slav people. That is what. This is the area. The European countries. This you can see these are the European countries. This is the area ruled by Ottoman Empire. So Ottoman Empire, the rulers of this area. You see this Red Sea, Suez Canal, I had told you, Jerusalem, Israel, Alexandria, all these are European countries. Okay? And Asian countries also, the Asian countries also there, European countries. Turkey was the capital, Istanbul. This is the capital of Ottoman Empire. Capital. Now modern capital is Ankara. Okay? This is modern capital of Turkey. So this including Turkey, this is areas. All these areas were ruled by Ottoman. You see another. This is a more clear map. You can look at this map and know the things. Okay? This is Greece. Greece had got independence already. See, this is Turkey. Turkey was a place where the center of Ottomans. And Greece had asked its independence in 1831, that you have seen. Treaty of Constantinople. Constantinople is in Turkey. That is what we have to see. So the spread of romantic nationalism in the Balkans together with the disintegration of the Ottoman Empire made this region very explosive. So Balkans were becoming strong and the ruler was becoming very weak. because we have already seen Greece. Like that, all other countries of that area, they wanted to be independent from the control of Ottoman Empire. So when one country wanted to be independent, it wanted the support of other powerful nation. Some sought the support of England, some sought the support of Russia, some sought the support of France, some sought the support of Germany. Like that, all these areas were becoming explosive because all these nationalistic countries, all those countries who have become more strong and powerful by 1871, they wanted that area in their control. You know, near to Ottoman Empire, most powerful was Germany. So Germany supported Ottoman Empire that it should not disintegrate. Naturally, Russia wanted disintegration. Russia was supported by France and England. So naturally, there were frictions and fightings in those areas. The European powers had either one support or other support. So naturally, you know, in your class, there is some one issue. The class is divided into so many groups. So there comes, when the division comes, what may be the reasons? Jealousy may be reasons. You don't want that person should become powerful. You want you should be important. So you try to get the support of the members of the class to fight against the other one. That same thing has happened in the Balkan area. So the friction started. So the Balkan people, based on their history, they told we are under the control of a foreign power, that is Ottoman Empire. We want to be out of the control of Ottoman Empire. And they were earnestly supported by other countries. That led into the conflict. The Balkans became an area of intense conflict. You must understand, intense conflict. And as I told you, the reasons between you and other person may be jealousy. The same way countries also. These Balkan areas, they were fierce jealousy of each other because all of them were under control of Ottoman Empire. Now they are coming out of Ottoman Empire. Naturally, they wanted more and more areas. Each one is trying to have more and more influence and areas. And the European powers and these colonies, naval powers of European powers joined with this process because through Mediterranean Sea they could come and there were frictions and conflicts. Russia, Germany, England, Austro-Hungary, they were all each other supporting and extending its own control. Russia was a neighboring country to it. Russia wanted to control Germany naturally. Germany also wanted to control, just become a superpower by after the unification of Germany. England itself already a superpower in the world. Austro-Hungarian Empire was a small powerful nation at that time. So all of them were trying to extend their hold in the Balkans. And this led into a conflict. That conflict is the First World War. That you must understand. The conflict between this, see here you see, Russia and England, they joined together. Austria, Austro-Hungary and Germany joined together. And this Austria, Hungary and Germany supported Ottoman Empire. So naturally there were fightings and frictions, and that led into the First World War. Nationalism aligned with imperialism led to Europe disaster. See, my country. If I am an England person, I want my country should be superpowers in the world. I am not ready to accept. I should control all other superpowers, all other countries of Europe. Naturally, other countries of Europe were not ready to agree. So there were frictions. Disaster of First World War. So the imperial domination. I am powerful, listen to me. You accept me. If you are not ready to accept, I will give you nice hit. That led into the conflict of European powers. Now, there were anti-imperial movements in different places, mainly in European countries. They want Ottoman Turkey should be out. And other parts of the world, in India, we have already started the independence movement. They were asking for independence. But many of the European powers were not ready to. But there were movements at least in European countries who were under control of Ottoman Empire. They wanted to independence. And that led into this conflict. That you must understand. So European ideas of nationalism were nowhere replicated. It was not because of European ideas of nationalism. We are one. It is not because of that. We want to become rulers. We want to exploit others. We want to control others. Each group had developed a variety of nationalism of their own. And that ultimately led into a First World War, that is from 1914 to 1918. And all over the world, First World War occurred, and ultimately it took time and peace has come. Germany was defeated, and its effect we had seen last year in our chapter of Nazism. Thank you very much.